Some of the greatest artists in history have not seen fame and recognition until long after they've died, and that's basically the situation with this car as well. Today we're going to take a look at an absolute cult classic that ended their production in 2011, but nonetheless now an absolute cult classic and an auction bought, sight unseen 2005 Honda Element front-wheel drive. Let's get into it. A couple months ago, I was just scrolling through a car auction page, and I guess I was looking for some excitement in my life, if you may, and maybe potentially a reasonable daily for a steal, right? And as you might know, usually these things go very well at car auctions, and you know, the cars are top-notch shape, and you know, you're just getting a good deal for your money, you know? Things rarely go wrong. And that's kind of what happened in this situation as well. I was just scrolling through Abrams Auctions, one of the local auctions page. They are a towing company and they sell vehicles at auctions as well, naturally. And in fact, I bought 2 cars at that auction. I got this one. We're going to get into it just in a few minutes, but I have to mention the other one. The other one was a 1997 Volvo 850, and it looked like it was in a decent shape, right? They're good cars, right? That generation is pretty reliable, right? It's had issues with the battery, I believe, and it ran, according to the description. There was barely any rust. It only had 160,000 kilometers, and yeah, it looked like a decent deal for $600 or whatever, right? And the reserve was, I believe, $500, and based on that reserve, the price goes further. And so I bid $600, and I was very sure that I would be outbid. Alas, that did not happen. I was not outbid, and when I was looking at my receipt at the end of the, you know, at the checkout, when I was looking at the receipt, there's 2 cars in there. I was like, oh my God, I just bought 2 cars off an auction. And when you're bidding to maintain the fairness, it's legally binding. So I purchased 2 cars that I didn't even know where to store. So on the day of the pickup for these 2 cars, I took the Volvo to a mechanic, and long story short, he couldn't start it, and when he did start it, oil just poured straight out of the engine all over the floor, and he basically told me, nah, just nah. If you were to rebuild it to, you know, a good driving condition, you'd probably have to spend maybe $8,000 to $8,500. So, nah, it was. I had to scrap the vehicle, lost about $1,000 in that car. Scrapped it, got my $500 back, and that's the end of that story. Now, this story right here, I apologize, I am a little paranoid because a nasty-ass earwig just crawled into this car as I opened this door, and I have no idea where it went. So it's a bit uneasy. It's a bit of an uneasy feeling, I won't lie. Now this story with this car is quite a bit different. So according to the description, it had an ABS light on, okay, which I figured, you know, maybe a sensor or 2, right? A couple sensors, maybe you know, maybe a few $100 max, you know. And then I have a great, you know, rust-free Honda Element, 370K and 317,000 kilometers. You know, it's a bit of a higher mileage vehicle, but at the same time, it's a Honda, right? All right, first try to start this vehicle. Never started it before. I hope the battery is alive. Could be not. Oh, we have a sign of life. All sorts of life. Everything's working. Ooh, nice. Okay, so we do have a proper battery, so let's see if she starts. Hey, beautiful, and that's why I love Hondas. Come delivery day, I get this car towed to a Honda specialist. He puts it up on the lift. He indeed confirms that yes, this car is rust-free, and it looked very good underneath. He also said that some of the bolts were broken off, and whoever worked on this car was a complete moron. And the theme of that will continue throughout the car, as I will show you a bit later. But he pointed at the ABS sensors, or should I say the lack thereof, and it looked like somebody just grabbed scissors and just snipped off these ABS sensors. I guess maybe thinking that that would fix the issue. I don't know. No wonder the ABS light was on. Literally, the ABS sensor was just snipped off. Who does that? Anyways, he told me to sell the car. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just sell the car. Sell it as is. I'll just sell him the situation. I guess that was a short-lived story of this car. Might as well just sell it. I get it home and I drive it for the first time after I get it home, and we got a transmission problem that I was not aware before that. So that changes the entire scenario right away. Changes the entire plot right away. How are you gonna sell a Honda Element with faulty transmission? The thing was basically just doing like a every time it would shift from first to second. It felt like I was going into space. It felt like I was just being thrusted out into the stratosphere every time it would shift from first to second. How are you gonna sell a car like that? For how much? 800 bucks? That's what I was offered for it, actually, at my other car mechanics. One of his friends was basically like, well, how much do you want for this vehicle, man? I'm like, I don't know, how much do you want to give me for it? 800 bucks, man. Nah. In addition to the transmission, it was making all sorts of other sounds and noises. Upon acceleration, the steering wheel was vibrating, and it was making this noise at any speeds, basically. It was knocking from the rear. Yeah, it was just a complete shit show of a car. And that's when I realized I messed up. But let's look under the hood real quick. What is... What? Damn it. This is a tough one. Are you serious? This is ridiculous, man. How do you break something like that, man? How do you break it? Not to mention, oh my God, man. How do you break this? How do you break that? For all of this, I wholeheartedly and unironically blame Yuri Tereshin from Straight Pipes and Dan. You know who you are, Dan. Whoever you are, Dan.
Fuck you, Dan.
Even though we weren't able to check out the engine, how about we check out what this car is actually famous for? That is infinite storage. As I already mentioned, this car is an absolute cult classic 10 years after it stopped being in production. And the people that love this most are actually campers. Why? Well, do I really have to explain why? The rear seats fold up with these hooks to the handles, and then you have this massive amount of space. Some people put furniture in this. They make furniture. They put beds in this. They put like little burners. The tailgate they can use for like electric stoves and gas stoves and cooking. People travel with these cars across the world. There's so many conversions, so many camper conversions for this car. In fact, I cannot wait to take this to a drive-in, to a cinema, to a movie drive-in, pop this open, drop an inflatable mattress here, and just watch the movie while laying down with like 2 other people. I can't wait. In fact, I haven't been out in so long. Anyways, to lower the seats, you simply prop the leg open, you unhook the hook right here, just kind of annoying to undo. Make sure the leg is propped open and drop it right in there. Click it in, pull on the lever. Voila. Same with the other seat. And we have a 4-seater. Not really a 5-seater because it wouldn't be too comfortable sitting right here. On the topic of storage, there's storage underneath here, and I don't remember last time I looked in here. I'm assuming there used to be a handle here, but alas, it's not here anymore. So let's just prop it up just like so. Oh, we have an electronic device here it looks like it's for a trailer. That looks like it's the connector to activate the turn-in signals and the brake signals of a trailer, which would make sense because the transmission issues, as described after speaking with a specialist, it turned out that oftentimes these transmissions fail when you start towing heavy things with these cars that they're not meant to tow. Makes sense. Right here we have a donut spare, temporary use only. It says right here we have some sort of I probably should have worn gloves for this. We have, I don't know, it looks like a piece of a chandelier, but I don't know what this would be for and why would be here. Creepy? Yes. Dan? Yes. And then we have the wrench here, lug nut wrench. Not much to see here except for even some tree bark. No clue how that gets here, man. I have no idea what this car has been through before I got it, man. Nor I don't know if I want to know, to be honest. Under the hood, and you would have to trust me on that one. I promise you there's an engine under the hood. You just won't be able to see it. There's a K24 engine, pretty legendary, pretty familiar engine. Same engine that was in the CR-Vs of the time, and very similar engine to the one in the 2011 Honda Accord EXL that I just reviewed recently in the previous video. The link will be somewhere here. If not here, then here. Okay, anyways, K24, 2.4 liter, 160 horsepower, nothing to write home about. Workhorse, absolute workhorse. Running strong in this car as well. 318,000 kilometers later, is still running strong. In the interior, it's quite literally a truck, and as every truck, it's built to be rugged and simple and very basic. It's a work vehicle, for better or for worse. The floors in the entire car is actually made of this tough rubber waterproof material, and giant toggles of the AC, and we just have a radio. We have very clear dials. And yeah, we just have some storage here and there. That's kind of neat, actually. We have some lights. It's a very basic car in its nature. We have some very simple storage, and everything is built to last. Everything feels, strong and, built to work. The car is so basic, in fact, that in the bottom trim for 2005, they didn't even come with AC. You could literally have this car in 2005 with no AC. You could actually just boil in your own juices if you chose to at a construction site somewhere. I don't know why you would ever put yourself through that, but that was an option if you wanted to. We have a glove compartment, of course. Mama. Hold on. Oh. God damn it, man. Okay. And we have the signs of Dan's life activity everywhere as well. Let me show you. We have Dan's grubby little fingerprints from his grubby little hands. In addition to that, we have Dan's grubby little arm juices, probably accumulated over like years of use. Pretty disgusting if you ask me. We have torn seats. Torn. We have some stains of completely unknown origin, assuming construction origin. Some more grubby little fingerprints. Are you serious? The doors open like a truck. Windows like a truck. How does it drive? You'd be surprised. Like a truck. And like a truck, it drives. It soaks up the bumps really nice. It wallows all over the place as well on these thick winter tires. It's a comfortable vehicle, except it wallows all over the place, and you don't feel like you're a part of the car necessarily. Just kind of, yeah, it just kind of wallows here and there. And definitely not the most confidence-inducing vehicle in turns. 0 to 100, who cares? It's probably 10 seconds or more, but here's the bumps, and it's comfortable. Like, you really don't feel the bumps nearly as much as in a regular car, and that's the whole point as well of the vehicle, right? It's lifted, has some good ground clearance. A lot of people love it for campers, as I already mentioned. You can really take this off the grid if you want to, even in the front-wheel drive variant. In fact, front-wheel drive, oh, speed bump, yeah, just a little jump. The benefit of this being a front-wheel drive and not all-wheel drive is gas consumption. This thing took me, I believe I drove like 670 or 680 kilometers an hour. I'll cue the picture here, on one tank of gas, and that was incredible for a vehicle of this size. I took it on about a 2.5 hour trip one way, so about 5 to 5.5 hours of driving overall, and one tank. It makes all sorts of sounds on the highway. It could be a wheel bearing. It goes kind of crazy when you get up to 80 and 90 kilometers an hour. It just starts going whoop, 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 whoop. And there's a bit of a vibration in the steering wheel. But so far, woo, cost me $1,000 just to safety it, just for it to be legal on the road. It got two new ball joints, the knock in the back, that was a new strut that was needed to be put on. The ABS, it cost me $500 to fix, actually, or more, $600. My mechanic went basically down the chain of the ABS system. He went down the electrical chain, checked the electrical system, fixed up all the things there, then he changed the computer. I had to buy the computer off of eBay, the ABS module, and then it turned out Dan, or whoever worked on this vehicle before me, actually installed the wrong wheel bearing that was not meant for ABS. So he had to replace all those things and the wheel bearing, and only then, wait, no, more than $500. It really cost me like $700 total, because he charged me for the ABS bearing as well, for the wheel bearing as well. So, damn it, man. It's stupid. Whoever put that wheel bearing, it wasn't even meant for ABS. It was a completely wrong wheel bearing installed on this vehicle. Stupid. And then all the wheel sensors, all the ABS sensors as well. But overall, it drives like a truck. It still needs things. Transmission's on the way. I ordered a transmission from Montreal, so it's coming soon. That's $800 plus about $500 to $600 for labor. God damn it, this is a very expensive flip that I'm not making any money on, that's for sure. But overall, again, it is what it is. It was a gamble. Do I hate this car right now? Yeah, I'm close to, but not for what the car is. I hate this for what this particular vehicle is and the troubles that it's given me, but I can definitely see the appeal of these vehicles. It's big, it's comfy, it's kind of adorable. You know, look at it. It's a sweetheart. It looks like a sweetheart. It looks like a little Hot Wheels toy, just lifted. And in fact, what it is, for the most part, it's just a lifted CRV in this drivetrain, and then from there, there's just this huge cubic body. But the story of the Element is not over. It just got a new transmission, 125,000 on it, shifts like butter. $1,500 later, shifts like absolute butter. At this point, it's a clean title, rust-free, new transmission, a lot of bugs fixed car. At this point, it's a pretty damn good car. Just needs a set of new tires and we're good to go. So it's kind of endearing, I won't lie, and I'm kind of tempted to keep it. But at the same time, everything's for sale for the right price. If somebody comes to me, smacks $5,000 on the table, I'll let it go. Anything less than that, I'll think about it. But at this point, the Element's growing on me, and I just might keep it, and I just might not. I guess we'll have to live and see. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.